Spammy, have you ever been on a road trip before?
The longest I've been is probably Kelowna.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets.
If you wanna.
Fill me in on your wildest
It is pretty bitter.
You know, I've always lived in the cities, but one place I've never been to is a First Nation reservation.
There is no permission to come on this land without a Statlian member.
Yeah, see? And then there's fighting, look at that.
Keep on pulling, keep on pulling. I've always been so interested in all this like First Nation stuff. I've never visited one in Canada. It's like a workout.
The branches, you see how it comes to a V like this, like a Y shape? That's what we use for when we're drying our salmon.
I had the Chinese feather duster.
Oh, it's burning hot here.
I know. This is the heat capital of British Columbia. Here it gets up to like 40-something degrees.
Hi.
Greetings. I'm Kevin.
Kevin, Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
This is Tom, the Xwisten.
Bridge River, or locally known as Xwisten, is 360 kilometers north of Vancouver in British Columbia. It's situated where Bridge River meets the Fraser River. And traditional settlement here was a strategic way of life.
Basically, we are fishermen, more or less fishermen.
This is where we belong in the summertime. This is our home. When we're fishing, those are the rocks that you see over there. That's where everybody lives for the summertime.
The Xwisten Experience is a tour that teaches people about their traditional way of life before Canada was even Canada. The depressions you see on the grounds today is evidence of a society deep-rooted into the land. Historically, the Statlian peoples lived in these pit houses during the winter. And in the summer, the families would migrate to the Fraser River and set up camp during the salmon runs. A tradition that continues to this day.
So Pam, what is your home known for?
My home Harbin is known for the super low temperature and then the ice sculpture and the snow sculpture.
I'll show you something here too. Oh no, see, this is our old hemp. See, a lot of people don't know this. This is our hemp. This is what we made ropes out of at one time. A lot of people are not aware of this.
Hemp?
A lot of varieties of this. You know what this is? Sage. We have a lot of varieties. This is many different varieties of sage. Go like that. Smell it. People do this. Smells good. It's like an air freshener.
Okay.
Air freshener. And it smells better and it's natural, non-toxic. Another plant. This is our medicine. Wild rose bush leaf.
Yeah, actually I feel like it's so similar to those like Chinese medicines, all those herbs.
And say you got a bee sting or something, or cat scratch or mosquito bite. Put it on there.
Just
And it's my EpiPen. This is my EpiPen.
Okay.
If I got stung or something, I'd walk right up to it. Boom, there's your medicine. There's your medicine.
Is there any other like similar looking
Well,
ones
those are
to
the
these?
two
They
most
do not
common.
confuse?
Those are the two most common, best used.
So Pam, what's the one thing that's passed on to you from generation to generation?
I think how to fix your own clothes. Like when we have a rip, the easiest way is like you do like little zigzag kind of way of like sewing it back together.
I'll just buy a new shirt.
So are these your language?
Yes, these are the local fishing language nations right here.
Oh.
Not just Indian. First Nations can fish here. Just Statlium, and we are Xwisten.
Public service announcement. According to the First Peoples, a guide for newcomers, Indian is an outdated description of First Nations, like Oriental for Chinese people. Some First Nations may use Indian for legal reasons, but it doesn't mean you should use it for casual reasons.
Up on top is Shekelwash,
Shakowash,
Titikit,
Tikatit,
yes, and Shalat,
Chalash,
Squalax, up in the corner,
Squalus,
Hachlip,
Haklip,
and here's Bridge River, Xwisten.
Christian. Oh, we are
Xwisten,
here,
yes,
right?
that's us,
Christian
yes,
is
yes.
us. Okay.
That's all of the surrounding nations here, just from, not Lytton's not involved.
Okay.
It's just
So there's seven
seven.
around here.
Basically, this is just telling you who's allowed to fish here, right?
According to First Peoples, a guide for newcomers, there are 203 First Nation bands in BC and 614 across Canada. Many times in British Columbia, you'll hear a phrase similar to this.
I'd like to acknowledge the Xwisten First Nation, upon whose traditional territory we gather today.
95% of the First Nations bands in BC did not legally give up the rights of their land to Britain or Canada. Even in Vancouver, yeah, everybody's basically squatting. So this phrase recognizes this awkward detail and reminds us whose land we're actually on.
1980, Department of Fisheries and Oceans tried to shut the First Nations down. We had to say no. We even sent our elders and they came in there, they tried to take their nets right out of our hands. It's their staple, it's a part of our life, you know? It's part of our history.
Yeah, like I didn't know like there's so many conflicts between the government and also like the First Nation, even like as detailed as like how they're fishing. And then, you know, like in high school, we don't really learn things about that.
I've been here for 52 years. Can you believe it? 52 years I've been fishing. And this is where my camp is right here. My fishing camp is right here in this area. And I caught my first salmon behind that painting. You see the painting down there? There's some fishing rocks.
Oh yeah.
There's some fishing rocks on the other side that are really good, that are my family's rocks, that have been my family's rocks for generations, I suppose.
You know, I don't have that growing up in Canada because my parents were immigrants. And I don't have generations upon generations of a history here. And I barely even know what my history is in China. And I think it's something that's really important that I should be looking into.
See how wide it is that way? You know, when you come up the valley? Now it's going to come through and look at the bottleneck. Look at that. So now it's just shooting through there. I get wind up there. I can have wind right there, a real good drying wind for about 2-3 weeks.
Instead of fire or smoke to dry their salmon, the Statlian peoples use nature to their advantage.
See, there's deer tracks. You can see deer tracks on our trail even.
Deer tracks?
Yeah,
oh,
see?
there are.
Yeah.
They're like little paw prints. So this is where you hang all
yes,
the salmon.
This is where the salmon will hang. This is where the salmon hangs, see? You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have about 12 there, eh? See, per pole.
Fishing season is during August, and we were a bit early.
Right there, see it? Did you see it again? Did
Yeah,
you see
I've
it?
seen it.
Yep. See, you got it. See, well, keep.
Spring?
It could be, eh? Look like a spring. I seen one right there, right there. It's the first one that I've seen jump this year. Have you seen any jump this year? See, so that they're here.
We wanted to try fishing in the river, but it's too dangerous. So
Okay, this is what it's going to look like. This is how she's going to sit when she's fishing. And the river's only going to come up to about here. And it's going to be bobbling around, okay? This is how the river feels. Feel that? Feel that? That's pretty wild, eh? And see that string right there? Okay, when I do this, let go of that. Pull that, pull. Yeah, see? And then it's fighting. Look at that. So,
Keep on pulling, keep on pulling.
Yes, yes. Okay.
See, I got it. I got it.
You got it. Now you can go out and fishing.
First of all, Daryl did a great job. I feel like I was catching a fish, but like seriously, like the resistance, I felt like I was doing a workout. Like after I took it off, I can see like a mark here because of the strain. Daryl, good job.
There you go. Good enough. Good enough. But there you go.
I got us some dinner.
now you have to gut it.
I have to what?
You cut it down the middle. 2 fish heads. Now you can barbecue, and there's still some meat on it. I can keep this. We can buy a fire pit. In the old days, if we caught 1 fish, you'd be cooking this and you'd be eating this. A Japanese person showed me that. Showed me that.
You know what I appreciate? We can share culture through food.
I'll get to a point, and then you can jump in, okay, Pam?
Okay.
A lot of times springs are white. There's 2 different color spring salmon.
Caviar.
You can eat them. You can cook them and eat them. I eat them.
All the bone is out. Almost.
There you go. You did it. That's
Florist, y'all.
You got it.
I know how to work my
You
knife.
got it. There you go. Okay, then you just see that angle I'm at. Kind of an angle. See, you can see the opening. You can see the. That's what I'm trying to. Eventually, this will happen. See, I'm going fast. I like going fast.
So that's kind of like a snack?
It is.
Snack that you
It
can
is.
carry
Road.
around?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
it edible?
Yes. Yeah. Eat it right off. Okay.
We freeze it after.
You can eat it. Wind dried. That's wind dried. That's wind dried.
Yeah, wind dried. 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
Depends
Okay. Here's
on weather.
the cutting of the
It's
strips.
so good.
And then there you go. You start stretching it. See this? It's gonna hang. So when it hangs open, it'll drop open. If I did it this way, it'll just droop like it did there, right? This fish is soft.
Well, I learned, always respect the nature because nature is basically what's feeding you, what's providing for you medicine or food. Don't ever be too greedy. Don't ever take too much, and then protect it. And then as well as, the traditions.
Although I'm used to filming Pam and her often fancy lifestyle from our show, HBIC Ultra Rich Asian Girls, it's interesting to see her out of her element and into learning about First Nations culture in Canada. And I'm happy we're able to share this experience together.
Do you love living here, like to surround all this nature?
Yes, I do. Yes.
You're like a protector.
Yes. My kids, I gotta teach my kids how everything's done, right?
Yes.
Traditionally,